and to participate in the Utah Universal Service Fund in docket number 22263501. I apologize. Hold on. Let's take appearances for the record, please. Starting with the applicant, petitioner.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Lance Steinhardt. I'm the attorney for AirVoice Wireless, DBA AirTalk Wireless, the petitioner in this case. Also, I have a last-minute substitute. Mr. Doe is in Vietnam and had computer trouble. He went back to his hotel. So David Stewart is going to testify on behalf of the company.
Okay.
David is, what's your title? I mean, we'll get to that. Chief Compliance Officer?
I'm the compliance officer.
Okay.
Compliance Officer. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Steinhardt. Okay, let's go with the Office of Consumer Services, please.
Robert Moore of the AG's office, representing the Office of Consumer Services. I have with me our witness, Alex Ware. He's a utility analyst at the office.
Okay, and the Division of Public Utilities, please.
Patricia E. Schmid with the Utah Attorney General's Office for the Division. Our witness today is Mr. Casey J. Coleman. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Steinhardt, are you ready to call your witness, please? Oh, I apologize. Is there somebody on the line?
I didn't quite catch the question. I couldn't quite understand what they said.
Well, I'm not sure who that was. It wasn't, I don't think, anyone who is supposed to be on the line. I didn't understand who that was, and I'm not sure how we heard that person, but or did I miss somebody? Is there somebody else who's on the line?
May have been hacked.
That is so interesting and so strange. Okay.
Like, who was that?
I have no idea. I don't know who that is or was, but let's start again. Mr. Steinhardt, are you ready to call your witness?
Yes, I am. Thank you. I would like to call David Stewart.
Okay,
would you
good
like
morning.
to swear him in, Your Honor?
Yes, I would. Mr. Stewart, good morning. Do you swear to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Steinhardt.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Stewart. Could you please state and spell your name for the record, please?
David Stewart, DAVID STEWART.
And could you tell us exactly what your title is and what your general duties and responsibilities are for AirVoice, the applicant?
Yes, I'm the Director of Compliance for AirVoice, and my duties include all regulatory and compliance issues.
Okay. And are you aware and familiar with the testimony that was filed in this case on behalf of Mr. Doe?
Yes, I have reviewed the testimony.
And this testimony is supporting AirVoice's petition in this proceeding to get ETC designation in the state of Utah. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Is there, other than the personal information related to Mr. Doe, are there any corrections in the testimony that you'd like to make at this time?
No, there are not.
And if you were asked those same questions today that are posed in the pre-filed test, hello? I'm sorry.
cross lines again.
Okay, I apologize. Let's just wait and pause for a little bit.
In case anybody is wondering, this is Alex with Consumer Services. I'm noticing on my feed that when it shows up, that's coming from the Utah Public Service Commission host line is indicating that's speaking.
Okay, can you all, first of all, can we, I don't know if they can hear me, but can we stop the streaming and let's just pause for about 5 minutes? Is that okay? And I'll be right back, excuse me.
Thank you.
I don't think we've ever had this problem before about having our lines cross.
This is a first for me.
I wonder if somehow there is a phone on speaker, or if someone called into the or joined through WebEx and is trying to contact the commission generally. The WebEx information is available on the commission's website, so anyone can join at this point. So I'm confused, but it's Tuesday morning, which really is Monday morning for us here in Utah, so it happens.
I just pulled up the participants list, and when I was under the participants list, whoever's speaking, it shows a title bar across the top. And so that's where I could identify that it was apparently coming from the Public Service Commission host one, whatever that is.
So I just went over to the commission's offices and they are having problems with the streaming. It's kind of getting interrupted every once in a while. And that was Gary trying to fix it. So hopefully they've got it fixed. I'm not sure, Yvonne, if you're still on and if you can hear.
She excused herself for just a moment. I think she was going to
Maybe she
see
tried
what was
to call
going
them.
on. Yeah.
She is working from home, so sorry, this is Brenda Salter in the office. Hopefully we've got it fixed, but let's wait and see when she comes back on.
Yes.
Yes. Stepped away. I don't.
Fred, they said she stepped away and I think she was probably going to try to call you.
Do we need her? I'm probably thinking we do.
Yeah, I think we do.
Thank you, Fred.
How's the weather there? Hot?
Hot.
Hot there too? God, it's just so humid here. Walk outside for 5 minutes and it's drenched. David, we know it's hot in Houston. That's one of the hottest places in the world in the summer.
It's always hot in Houston.
That's true. You go there in the winter, it's 85.
Years ago, I went to Houston in the winter. I popped out of my rental car into the parking lot, got out, and my glasses immediately fogged from the heat and the humidity. I decided I was not meant to be in Texas.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I think we're going to be okay. Mr. Steinhardt, I apologize for the break here,
problem.
but can you keep going? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Did you ask him if he was adopting the testimony as his own.
Yeah, I already did that.
Okay, great. I didn't hear that specific question. I apologize.
I don't,
Okay.
actually, no, I don't remember. I just go off the cuff. I usually don't prepare stuff. Can the court reporter
Okay.
read back the last couple questions? Go
Yeah.
off the record.
The last question was, and if you were asked the same question today that is posed, and then it got interrupted, and before that, it was about any corrections in testimony. I don't think
Right.
we covered what was asked, so.
Okay. So I didn't ask him to adopt the testimony yet?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, so let me finish the prior question. If you were asked the same questions today that are contained in the pre-filed testimony of Mr. Doe, would your answers be the same in all material respects?
Yes, they would.
Okay, and at this point, would you like to adopt Mr. Doe's testimony as your own testimony, other than related to personal information for Mr. Doe?
Yes, I would.
Okay. At this point, I would like to make a motion to admit Mr. Doe's testimony as adopted today by Mr. Stewart into the record.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Moore, any objection from the office?
No objections, thank you.
Ms. Schmidt, any objections from DPU?
No objections. Thank you.
Okay. They're admitted. Thank you.
Okay, in general, Mr. Stewart, would you say that the application and the testimony and the stipulation in this matter sets forth with certainty that AirVoice has met all federal and state requirements in order to be designated as a ETC in the state of Utah, demonstrated that it will follow the rules and that it would be in the public interest to grant the petition?
Yes, I would.
And further, are you familiar with the stipulation that was entered into between the parties in this matter?
Yes, I have reviewed the stipulation and settlement agreement.
And does it accurately represent AirVoice's position in this case?
Yes, it does.
And do you believe that adopting the stipulation would result in a just and reasonable result in this petition, and also be in the public interest?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, at this point, I would turn Mr. Stewart over for any cross-examination from either yourself or the other parties. Excuse me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Does the office have any cross-examination for
No
Mr.
questions,
Stewart?
thank you.
No, the division, any questions for Mr. Stewart?
No questions. Thank you.
I don't have any questions either. Mr. Stewart, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, at this point, let's go with Mr. Moore. Are you ready to call your witness, Mr. Moore?
Yes, thank you. The OCS calls Alex Ware and asks that he be sworn.
Mr. Ware, do you swear to tell the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you very much.
Could you please state your name, occupation, and business address for the record?
Yes, my name is Alex Ware. I'm a utility analyst with the Office of Consumer Services, and my business address is 160 East, 300 South, Salt Lake City, Utah.
In your capacity as utility analyst for the OCS, have you reviewed the filings in this docket, including the March 22nd, 2002 petition, the direct testimony of Henry Doe, filed by AirVoice on May 13th, 2022?
Yes.
Have you reviewed and did you participate in the negotiations of the settlement stipulation that was filed by the parties on July 11th, 2022? The stipulation is the subject of these proceedings.
Yes.
Have you prepared a statement summarizing the OCS's position on the settlement stipulation?
Yes, I have.
Could you please proceed?
AirVoice Wireless petitioned in this case to be designated as an eligible telecommunications carrier in the state of Utah, as well as to participate in the Utah Universal Service Fund with a Lifeline program offering. AirVoice's Utah Lifeline program offering of 1,000 voice minutes and 4.5 gigabytes of data each month meets the minimum requirements for a wireless telecommunications provider to receive federal Lifeline funds. The addition to the offering of unlimited text messages each month exceeds the requirements and adds value to potential Lifeline customers in Utah. The OCS believes that the stipulation before the Commission is just and reasonable in result and in the public interest, and recommends that the Commission approve it. Thank you.
Mr. Ware is now available for cross and questions from the hearing officer.
Thank you, Mr. Ware. Does Mr. Steinhardt have any questions or cross-examination for Mr. Ware?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Schmidt, do you have any questions for Mr. Ware? Any cross-examination?
No, thank you.
Okay, and I don't either, Mr. Ware. Thank you for your time this morning. Now let's go to the Division of Public Utilities.
Thank you. The division would call Mr. Casey J. Coleman as its witness.
Mr. Coleman, do you swear to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Coleman. Could you please state your full name, business address, employer, and position for the record?
Yes, my name's Casey J. Coleman. I work for the Division of Public Utilities as a utility technical consultant, and the address is 160 East, 300 South, Salt Lake City, Utah.
In conjunction with your employment by the division, have you participated in this docket?
Yes.
Have you reviewed the filings in this docket?
Yes.
Have you participated in the settlement negotiations and preparation and filing of the stipulation and settlement agreement in this docket?
Yes.
Do you have a statement giving the division's position on this matter?
Yes, I do.
Please proceed.
The Division of Public Utilities recommends the Commission approve the stipulation as filed by AirVoice Wireless LLC, the Division of Public Utilities, and the Office of Consumer Services, the parties in this docket. There are a number. There are a number of elements to the stipulation that the division would like to highlight for the Commission. AirVoice is a commercial mobile radio service provider and a common carrier which provides prepaid wireless telecommunications services to consumers by using the underlying wireless networks of AT&T Mobility LLC and T-Mobile USA Incorporated on a wholesale basis. AirVoice seeks an eligible telecommunications carrier or ETC designation for the purpose of receiving federal universal lifeline support for qualifying Utah customers. Federal Enhanced Tribal Universal Service Lifeline support for qualifying Utah customers and Lifeline support from the Utah Universal Service Fund for qualifying customers. AirVoice meets the requirements for a federal ETC designation and satisfies the requirements for receiving state Lifeline support from the Utah Universal Service Fund. The services offered by AirVoice to low-income Utah customers meets or exceeds both the FCC's Lifeline minimum service standards and the Commission's Utah Universal Service Fund plan requirements. The service offered by AirVoice for non-tribal customers includes 1,000 voice minutes, unlimited text messages, and 4.5 gigabytes of data each usage month. For tribal customers, the service includes unlimited talk, text, and data. Both options will have zero cost to the customers after application of Lifeline and Utah Universal Service Fund support. Some additional requirements for AirVoice to be an ETC as discussed in the stipulation includes AirVoice will use a Utah-specific fact sheet that provides customers concise and complete information about the services they will receive. Additionally, AirVoice will comply with all applicable state service quality and consumer protection requirements. And when making any changes to its Lifeline offerings, AirVoice will file a notice with the Division of Public Utilities and Office of Consumer Services describing the changed plans. Finally, AirVoice acknowledges that approval of the petition and ongoing receipt of Utah Universal Service Fund support are conditioned upon the verified payment of all applicable state and local regulatory fees, including but not limited to universal service fees, emergency services, and relay services. Because AirVoice Wireless has met the federal requirements for an ETC designation, will follow all applicable service quality rules, pay all applicable regulatory fees, and its service offering meets or exceeds the requirements outlined by the FCC and Commission, it is the Division's position that the stipulation is just and reasonable in result and in the public interest. The Division recommends that the Commission approve the stipulation as submitted by the parties.
Thank you. That concludes the Division's presentation regarding the stipulation and settlement agreement. Mr. Coleman is now available for questions from the parties and from the hearing officer.
Thank you. Mr. Moore, does the office have any questions or cross-examination for Mr. Coleman?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Steinhardt, does AirVoice have any cross-examination?
Does it go to a commission vote?